going to show you how to do a back stitch. Again, I'm starting with my threaded needle, not in the end. Back stitch is a good stitch to so 2 layers of felt or fabric together. It's a much more secure stitch than a running stitch. I've drawn my line on, which is great for kids, and you're going to start it in exactly the same way you will start a running stitch. I hide my knot between the 2 layers of felt, and I'm going to start off with my double stitch. So I'm going to go forward and back to where I started. That's just to nice and secure and anchor the 2 layers of felt together. I'm just turning around, and you will start in the same way you would start a running stitch. I'm just going to put my needle in the same spot where this stitch finished, and just going to go a stitch length in front. That would be the same way I'd start a running stitch, but for a back stitch, we're actually going to go backwards to where the last stitch ended, put the needle through, and you're going to go the same distance in front as your stitch. So I'm doing 1/4 inch stitches here, and you pull. Again, you're going to go back to where your last stitch finished, and in front about 1/4 inch. I don't tend to use the back stitch in my classes, only because it takes the kids much longer to finish their work, and the running stitch does a pretty good job. But having said that, there are some kids who just love doing back stitches, so they have the option. So again, backwards and forward. And it's much more secure than a running stitch, but again, it takes the kids much longer. And we're going to end the stitch in the same way that we end the running stitch. You're going to go backwards and forwards. Pull. You're going to do another stitch on top of that. Bring your thread between the 2 layers like this, and snip it. And of course, I've forgotten my scissors, so I'm not going to be able to snip it now. So you just snip it there, and it hides the thread. And there's your back stitch.